Continuing with our hardware series, the most important piece of hardware I have in my home studio, and for anything really, is my workstation class laptop. I have an MSI GE75 Raider, and let me bring the specs up here, and I'm going to point you to one that would be an upgrade from what I have. I purchased this 4 years ago, and I work my laptop really heavy. I mean, I use it every day, and most of the time I'm working it really, really hard, doing audio processing, video processing, photo editing, video rendering, transcoding, and gaming, you name it. Okay, so it is listed as a gaming laptop. So why would you choose a gaming laptop? Well, a gaming laptop, as it turns out, has got some really good components in it. So it's not only a good gaming laptop, but it's a good multimedia workstation, which is precisely why I purchased it. The fact that it can run computer games really, really well, yeah, that's a bonus. You know, you got to play computer games every once in a while, right? You got to stay in touch with your inner child. When my grandkids are here, some good deathmatch, and you know those kids are really good with video games. You know, on the computer, on consoles. They're very fast and they're very coordinated. And usually at the end of the deathmatch gaming, I usually have to take the walk of shame because they have really handed my hat to me playing the computer games. But what I have is the MSI GE75 Raider gaming laptop. This is the third MSI laptop that I have purchased consecutively. The last 3 laptops I have purchased have all been MSI. I have been really extremely happy. The very first one that I purchased a workstation class laptop like I have now. Of course, it doesn't match the specs on the newest one. But I used it for 6 years, and I worked it really hard. And then I finally decided that I would upgrade it, and I got this one. I also bought one almost identical to this one for my wife. So she has a very powerful workstation class laptop too. So as hard as I worked my laptops, having that first one for 6 years before I replaced it, and I've already had this one for 4, says a lot about the quality of the components and the company. MSI is a MicroStar Incorporated, I believe is what MSI stands for. But the GE75 Raider, it has a Intel Core i5 processor in this one. It runs at 2.3 gigahertz as far as speed, and it has 6 cores. That means you've got a single processor that has 6 separate cores on that chip. And so each core can execute CPU instructions, and they have their own cache. So that means you can do parallel processing and multi-threading. So if you've got an application that supports that, and I do, one application can use multiple cores on the processor to do the work, 6 times faster. With 6 cores, it's going to be able to do it 6 times faster than it would be able to do it with just a single processor with a single core. I love NVidia video graphics cards, and this one has an RTX 2060 graphic processing unit with 4 gigabytes of fast RAM on the card. I have a maximum resolution of HD 1080p, which is 1920 by 1080 widescreen. The hard drive that I have in it, this one was kind of a hybrid system. It came with a 500 gigabyte solid state drive and a 1 terabyte traditional hard disk drive that was 7200 RPM. Now the newer ones that they have out now have a single 1 terabyte solid state drive, so that's going to make the system even faster. And I'll let you in on a little secret. If you've got a fast processor, The best thing that you can do, in addition to having a fast processor, is having plenty of system RAM. That is the best thing you can do to speed up your system, in addition to a fast processor with multiple cores. So this one has 16 gigabytes of RAM in it. And it has 4 USB 3 ports. It has Bluetooth 5.0, a Wi-Fi. It also has an RJ45 connector, so you can hardwire to the network if you choose to do that. And I do that sometimes where Wi-Fi, if I'm in a place where Wi-Fi is not available, but there's a port to patch it into. Mine came with Windows 10 Home. I don't use it. I run Linux on my laptop. But it is a fantastic workstation class laptop. The one that I'm going to point you to and that I have a link to in the show notes is the next revision after this one. It's the GE76 Raider from MSI. And I was looking at these the other day, and you get upgraded components and double the system RAM that I currently have on my system, and it's the same price as what I paid for this one 4 years ago. Now, I found that absolutely astonishing given the fact that we've had so much inflation the past 2.5 years. Everything has gone up pretty much double digits in price, am I right? Groceries, gasoline, hotel rooms, I don't care what it is. Almost everything has gone up in double digits over the past 2.5 years. So I was astonished when I found that this system that I'm going to point you to, if you are in the market for a workstation class laptop currently, this link is going to point you to a workstation class laptop, same brand that I have, just one step above what I currently have, the GE76 Raider. Its CPU runs at 3.5 gigahertz compared to my system at 2.3 gigahertz. It has the Intel Core i7 processor compared to mine having the Intel Core i5. It has 8 cores and mine has 6. So you're talking about a 30% increase in the number of cores, plus the processing speed is almost 50% higher than what mine currently is. Again, and it has my favorite video card, which is the NVidia. And this one has the GeForce RTX 3060, and it has 6 gigabytes of DDR RAM on the video card itself. Mine has 4 gigabytes, and it's an earlier card. Both of them support a highest resolution of 1920 by 1080p, HD 1080p, which is great because the diagonal on the screen, it's a pretty big laptop. The diagonal on the screen is 17.3 inches. I wanted the largest screen that I could get on a workstation class laptop. When you're doing photo editing and video processing, you want a large screen. Both of these laptops also have an HDMI out. So if you have a separate, flat screen television, you can also output the video to that for a much larger screen. This one has a solid state 1 terabyte single solid state drive, which I wish I had in mine rather than the 2 hybrid drives. USB 3.0 ports. It has 1 Type-C port, 2 Type-A ports, and 1 Type-A, same as my system has. The system I'm going to point you to comes to Windows 11 Home, and I think Windows 11 is the latest version of their operating system that they have out right now. Oh, and it has 32 gigabytes of RAM compared to the 16 gigabytes that I have on mine. And the RAM has a speed of 3.2 gigahertz where mine has 2.3. So you're getting faster RAM, faster processor, 30% more cores, double the RAM, a faster video card with 50% more video RAM on the card, and a solid state drive. So that system is going to be quite a bit faster than what my system is. So you'll find a link to that in the show notes. In my next hardware video, I'll go over some of the other equipment that I use in my home studio and for processing in general, whether I'm doing
whether I'm doing office work or photo processing, video processing. I'll give you guys information on all the hardware that I personally selected for myself. So this is an exceptional value on a laptop that I have that link to. The same price I paid for mine, and I told you how much higher the specs were on it. So stay tuned. I will see you in the next episode.